You're now tuned into the Lady Charmaine Live Show, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine, and I have another great interview for you today. So, when you think of movies and television shows like Parenthood, BAPS, Hollywood Shuffle, and The Five Heartbeats, well, only one name should come to mind, and I'll tell you who it is coming up right after this. My guest today is an actor, comedian, writer, director, and producer, and he is here today to talk about the new documentary in theaters on August the 27th called The Making of the Five Heartbeats. Help me welcome to the Lady Charmaine Live Show, Mr. Robert Townsend. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Robert, it's literally been a few years. It's been about 7 years since you last graced my show, so it's been a while, but it's so good to have you back on the show.
No, it feels good. Well, and thank you for that intro. That was lovely. So I'm just glad to be here. So thank you.
Now, you know what's so funny, Robert? Now, I found a picture that I took with you back in 1987, 31 years ago, at the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame in Oakland. And you were like the nicest guy. You were very humble. And this is one of the first questions that I have for you. What keeps you grounded? Because you seem like the same gentleman that I met 31 years ago, and you still humble, and you still have a level head and with no airs. What keeps you humble? What keeps you grounded?
Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, here's the thing. I love life, and I'm blessed. I can't complain. I have been able to make movies and television shows for over 30 years. And I'm living all my dreams. And so I wake up every day with a smile on my face, and I have a really blessed life.
Well, not everybody can say that, but I'm so glad that you acknowledge that you are blessed, because some people don't realize that they are blessed, and from all of our blessings, I believe they come from the Lord. So all of our blessings, and to be able to acknowledge that in that way, I think that's why you are continuously blessed. And now at that same event back 31 years ago, I met one of the characters in the Five Heartbeats. He was the nicest gentleman, and it was the legendary dance great Harold Nicholas. And he was so nice. He was a friend of a friend, and he was so nice. He gave me a ticket to sit and eat at his table. And with the Five Heartbeats, the making is going to be coming out on Monday. I wanted to know, will you be doing any tributes to him or talking about him in the documentary?
You know what? There is a moment in the documentary where I talk about the great legendary Harold Nicholas of the Nicholas Brothers. His audition, because I talk about his audition in the movie, and it's really kind of funny because he was so nice in the audition that I didn't almost cast him. And because he was so nice, I was like, well, the character of Sarge is tough and it's in your face, and he's talking trash. And he was just he was so nice. And then it wasn't until the end, and you got to see the documentary, because I asked him this one question, and he goes off on me. And he goes, no, you don't understand. Let me tell you something. I was like, woo. And then at the end of it, I looked over at my casting director, Jackie Brown, and I say, that's him. He's Sarge. But I said this one thing, and when you see the documentary, and it sent him off. But he was really nice, because I was trying to, talk to me, man, about life, and and he was just cool. He's Hollywood royalty, but at the end of it, when you see it in the documentary, you're going to love it.
Well, I'm so glad, because like I said, he was such a nice gentleman, and I think that what he did for me and what he sold into my life, for me, it was a blessing, which it causes me to pay something like that forward. And so after 27 years, so why did you decide to do a documentary on the making of the Five Heartbeats?
Well, it really came from the fans. Everywhere I go for years, people have been asking me about how I made the movie. And I was like, oh, well, and I never, really shared my real creative process. And then I started thinking about it, and I said, wow, the things I went through behind the camera, people would not believe. And I said, wait a minute, there's a story here. And I've been working on this documentary off and on for a lot of years now, and I couldn't figure it out because I said I just don't want to do a straight documentary. I want to tell my journey, and then, it's me being fearless to tell my real story, because sometimes you don't want to tell when things don't go right. You just
Right.
want the appearance of everything is good, and sometimes things go wrong. And I think that my story is really inspiring on a whole nother level, because even if you're not a filmmaker, it'll inspire you to go after your dream and say, my dream is attainable because look what he went through. I could do this. So I had to tell the story because of that. And then if you're a fan of the film, you're just going to be in heaven, because I really tell you how I created the scenes that you love and why I cast the people I cast, and how I work.
So, that's going to be one of my next questions. But here's one of the questions. Like you said, you've been working on this for quite some time. But out of all the groups that were out, why the Dales? Where did you first hear about their story, and what inspired you to do a movie about their story?
Well, that's another thing you got to see in the documentary, because it's the Dells and maybe it's not the Dells.
Oh, really? Because I heard there was a group called
There's
the
a little
Heartbeats
twist.
too. I heard there was a group called the Heartbeats. Is that where you got the name from?
Well, you got to see the documentary,
Come
because
on, Robert. Now, give me
I'm not going to
something.
give it away. Here's the thing. People think, see, now I'm going to tell the whole truth, and it's the whole truth I'm telling in the documentary, because it is the Dells, but it might not be the Dells. And so when you see the documentary, you'll see, oh, that's what happened. And I don't want to give it away now, because I want the audience to come in and see it and say, oh. So it's no spoiler alerts, but just know that everything that you know about the film, you've got to rethink now, because now I'm giving the real personal journey of
Okay.
like I saw close to 10,000 actors for this movie. I had 3 open calls in New York, Chicago, and L.A. I saw close to 10,000 actors to find the 4 actors to play the Heartbeats.
Really? That's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's how
people.
serious I was in terms of my casting.
Well, you found, literally.
The little girl,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
No, I was going to say, because you did a great job with the casting. Every single person from Leon to Michael Wright. Everybody was really perfect for each one of these roles.
Thank you. But you're going to see, wait until you see the casting process. You're going to see one of the stars of the Housewives of Atlanta auditioning. You're going to see one of the stars of the TV series Empire auditioning. You're going to see an R&B superstar that auditioned and didn't get in the film. So, wait until you see who didn't make the movie. And I have all the auditions. So when you see the casting process, you're going to be like, what? But I was trying to figure it out, and I knew they had something, but I didn't know where they fit in the movie.
Well, that's amazing. And I know, before we go, you just mentioned earlier about favorite scenes. And I have to tell you about one of my favorite scenes, which I'm so sure you've heard about umpteen times. But I have to talk about it because it's the scene with Big Red. My office hours are from 9 to 5. And I'm sure Bird was not expecting the next thing that was going to come out of that, because he found himself hanging over a balcony. But my question for you now, is this something that actually happened, or you just added it to the movie for dramatics?
Well, that particular scene actually happened.
Really?
That was something the Dells told me about that happened to a really popular singer back in the 60s. And I said, well, how did you guys know that really happened? He said, they told everybody so that if anybody else asked for their money, they said, look what they did to so-and-so. We're not going to ask for our money. So that's why I said, because I thought it would be a secret. And they says, no, the guy who ran the record company did it and had his boys do that. But he sent a message to everybody else on the record label, don't ask about my books.
And because I also read that Suge
Yeah,
Knight.
that was,
Go ahead.
go on, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, because I also read that Suge Knight was so inspired by that scene that he actually hung Vanilla Ice over the balcony. Did you hear about that? Is there any truth to that?
No, I never heard that. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
That's what look. That's what I
Oh
read. Word on
Lord,
the
yeah, I don't
street.
know about that.
In them streets, that's what they were saying. But yeah, that's exactly what I had that's what I had heard. But I know before I go, I know you got to go, but will there be any, where are they now? So will we find out where every actor is that was in the film and what they're doing now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's talking about what they're working on, and so, but it's really a glimpse behind the scenes. I talk a little bit about that, but it's
Hmm.
more, like I said, it's one part, master class. Keenan talks about how he writes. Harry talks about directing. Leon talks about, acting. So it's all different things. But the documentary, it's an amazing ride. It's really an amazing ride.
I bet. Well, Robert, I want to say thank you so much for coming back on the show. And I want to remind the audience to make sure you go on Monday, August 27th in theaters. It is the making of the Five Heartbeats. So if you want to know the behind the scenes and you want to know who was the Real Housewives of Atlanta person audition, the real big R&B star, well, you got to go see the movie. And again, thank you so much, Robert. It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye-bye. And again, don't forget to go ahead and check out the making of the Five Heartbeats. I will be in the theaters because I love the movie. So, I got to, be nosy and get all the details and the behind the scenes. And guess what? I'll be reporting back to you to let you know what was actually going on. And again, I want to say thank you to Mr. Robert Townsend. Make sure you catch it Monday, August 27th in theaters, the making of the Five Heartbeats.